This episode is brought to you by Accenture. When your advertising operations fall out of sync, everything else follows. Spotify and Accenture are working together to reinvent the rhythm of ad sales, using automation, analytics, and smarter workflows to simplify campaign delivery and access better data across the business. The result? Less time spent on operations, more time connecting brands with the moments and fandoms that matter most. Learn more at accenture.com/Spotify.
The new LinkedIn Hiring Pro can't undo your last hire. The human postponer. They were the master of one phrase. I'll circle back on that. But 3 months later, you are the one doing all their work and wondering how big that circle is. But LinkedIn Hiring Pro can take the hiring load off your plate by automating the hiring busy work from the initial job post to scheduling interviews. Hire right the first time with LinkedIn Hiring Pro. Post a free job today at linkedin.com/quality.
Tory Lanez, Deen AB / SGA. Let's talk about it. How y'all doing? Welcome to Let's Talk About It Music Reviews Season 12. How y'all doing? Welcome to the show. We got a pretty good episode for you today. We are continuing the Tory Lanez marathon coverage. We've covered some other songs, but now we're just going to lock in for the rest of the week on some Tory Lanez. How y'all doing? Welcome to the show, guys. We got a pretty good episode for you today. Now, I'm really excited to talk about this song because this is probably one of my favorite tracks off this album. This is the song that I just keep replaying every time that I play the album. I'm like, you know what? This song absolutely fucking slaps. This song goes fucking crazy, and I just keep playing it. So, I've had a pretty good time with it. Let's get into this. We got this song right here. It's called Deen AB / SGA. Now, let's get into it. Let's talk about it, starting off with the beat. This beat, like the beginning beat, is really hard. I love the dark strings that just sound so fucking fire. You know, the way those, like, you know, y'all know how, like, the 8-bit synths sound. Sometimes they can hit, sometimes they can't hit. This is one of those cases where I love the synths. The synths just add so much vibe to the song. And then I really love the drums. The trap drums go fucking crazy on here. The trap drums sound absolutely goddamn fire. So that's something that I really overall enjoy too. So overall, I think that part is pretty fire in my opinion. I just love this beat. And there's also a good old beat switch on this song, which I really do enjoy. The beat switch goes pretty fucking crazy. I like that sample in the background. You know, the drums sound pretty good. It's a pretty simple beat switch, though. You know, it's kind of just, you know, a switch up of the 808s and the trap beat. This is kind of a more laid-back, kind of chill switch beat. I will say that. So, you know, don't go into, you know, expecting, like, the craziest thing. But I do think it gets the job done. I think it does overall sound pretty fire. But yeah, I really enjoyed this beat. Now let's move on to the first verse from Tory Lanez. I really love the opening verse from Tory Lanez here, like the rapping, like the way his vocals are, like the intensity that you hear on the rapping here, just, you know, absolutely just fucking smacks in my opinion. I like the flow. I like the mini flow switches that happen on the beginning verse. And I'd say overall too, the beginning verse is just so fucking fire. I mean, like the way he's coming on the beat, the way the vocals fucking sound, just like, goddamn. That shit just absolutely fucking smacks in my opinion. So, I love the opening verse. I like how Tory Lanez is fucking sounding on here. That beginning verse just kind of sets the tone. And I love how, you know, it's not just, you know, the basic rap verse. You know, this rap verse has some complexity to it, you know. It has all these different flow switches. It has all these different moments on here that you really enjoy. Honestly, I would like more of the first part. The first part was really good. That Deen and AB hook was a really cool thing too, which we can talk about next. You know, I like that Deen AB hook. I like how it starts off, in my opinion, that none of this shit relates to me. Like, that cool little, like, line just kind of gets stuck in your head as you're listening to the song. And I think overall that's one of the best parts on the track, in my opinion, the way it sounds, the way it, you know, how fire it is. So I really love the beginning. The beginning can easily just kind of get stuck in your head. You know, this is one of those things where, you know, repetition, when the lines are fire to say, and then, you know, you have this, you know, you have some really good melodically kind of like sound vocals too. That repetition just absolutely works on here and just absolutely sounds goddamn fire. So I really overall enjoy this little beginning hook too. I wish there was kind of more of it. Like, that's how good it sounds. That's how good it was. Like, I was, like, kind of wanting more of this beginning part. It was just so fucking good. And then we got the beat switch. The beat switch comes in, and I do like the beat switch. I'd say it's pretty fucking fire. And then this is a kind of thing where, this is like Tory Lanez, like, I would say he's kind of soaking in. He's kind of, just like, gleaming off the inspiration of Iceman. And, like, if you are going to take some inspiration from Drake, you better take it from the, one of the best albums he's probably dropped in, like, the last decade, which is fucking Iceman. I mean, Iceman was such a good-ass fucking album. It's like, yeah, if you're going to take some inspiration from Drake, you might as well take some notes off of Iceman. So I do like, these are kind of, some lower rap vocals from Tory Lanez, which I really haven't heard before, in my opinion. I do think it sounds pretty fire. It's got a nice flow to it, a nice sound to it, and, that kind of Drake inspiration is definitely there, I will say. But I like the flow, and I like how, he continues the, the same little hook, though. I do like the SGA, references, too, a pretty go-to basketball team, I will say. So having a go-to-basketball team bars on there is pretty good. I don't... people say that's bad. Like, some people, I hear, they go like, man, you're talking about basketball. Nah. I think I think basketball is one of, like, with the best sports you can watch. So, like, if you're going to incorporate some cool sports bars...
This episode is brought to you by Adobe Firefly, the all-in-one creative studio with AI-powered image and video generation. Built for today's creative process, Firefly helps you generate, edit, and experiment fast. Because the asks aren't getting smaller, and the timelines? Woo, yeah, still tight. With all the best creative AI models in one place, Firefly brings your ideas to life. Learn more at adobe.com/firefly.
Like, if it's football, it's the NFL, I like that. If it's also the NBA, I like that too. So, two of my favorite sports on here, if you're going to be doing bars about that. I like that. I enjoy that. I guess some people don't enjoy that, but I think it was pretty fire. I do like the flow switches too. I like how, that second verse, he kind of switches to this more melodic verse, and then, he switches to these lower vocals, and he just kind of starts rapping his ass off, going crazy on this fucking song. And you're like, holy shit, bro's really picking it up. Like, I really love the flow on the last verse. There was like 3 rap verses on here, and that third rap verse just like sounds so fucking good. Easily gets stuck in your head. I love the flow that's happening here. Just a really nice way to end off the whole entire song. So overall, when we talk about Tory Lanez, Deen AB slash SGA, really enjoy this beat. The beginning beat was really fire. The beat switch was pretty good too. I like the hook on here. The hook is probably one of the more addicting parts. One of the more addicting rap hooks I've heard in 2026, I will say. Just a really good rap hook. Easily gets stuck in your head. Really fucking nice. Love the different rap verses because, the different rap verses have different vocal switches, have different flow switches, which is just pretty fucking fire in my opinion. So, overall, I will easily give this track a nice 8 out of 10. 8 out of 10, guys. What'd y'all think about it? Did you love it? Did you hate it? I don't know. Let me know. If you're on YouTube, Spotify, Pandora, wherever you get your podcast at, make sure you follow. Turn on notifications, guys. We're dropping new content every single day. We're going to be locking in. We're going to be locking in, talking about Tory Lanez for the rest of the week. I'm excited. I can't wait. Let's get into it. Let's fucking talk about it. It's going to be a good-ass time, so make sure y'all follow. We got a ton of more Tory Lanez tracks to talk about. I am even thinking about talking about an R&B track. Maybe. We'll see how I'm feeling, but, Wednesday, today's Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, or just Wednesday. We're going to be talking about Tory Lanez again on Wednesday. Thursday night, we are going to have to, take a little bit of a break from Tory Lanez for a little bit while because we got some major pop stuff coming out on Thursday night. I'm pretty sure it's this week. I'm pretty sure it's this week the big pop album's coming out, so I will be busy talking about a pop album and getting back into some pop music reviews, so I'm going to be busy with that. That's going to be something, so make sure y'all follow. I'll see y'all have a good one. Yeah, guys. Bye.